So now let's go into a little bit of some of the communication challenges and solutions. So obviously we are faced with a lot of challenges in the market today. We have from a political point of view, we have from a even countries conflict point of view, where we are seeing wars in 2024, which we probably didn't expect if we go 5 years back. A lot of those things obviously gives us certain challenges, but there are also other challenges. There are challenges about coverage. There are challenges about congestion, and there are challenges about discontinuous of technologies. And then when you look at all of those challenges, it actually puts a big challenge on the whole industry, because can you really justify making the rollouts when you have these uncertainties? Like I said before, you don't install meters for 12 months, you install them for many years. So you need to make sure that when you take a decision, it is the right decision. It is a decision that you can rely on, and it's a decision where you can actually make sure that you support your customers and you support, at the end of the day, the consumers behind. So what we have done here is that on top of actually designing the Neoway modules, we took it a step further. We have actually built what we call Neo Access and Neo Pipe. And these are cloud-based platforms that helps our customers to deliver solutions that stays, I would say, stable, stays online, and actually stays available. Because that's the whole thing here. You need to be able to update your devices, identify faulty devices, and also make sure that you can kind of confirm, but also communicate potential issues back to your clients. And that's what we do with Neo Access and Neo Pipe. And we're gonna try to give you a little bit of data on this one here. When it comes to these cloud platforms, we do recommend we do separate sessions on this one here, but we will give you kind of the 50,000 feet view on this one here, just give you a fly into what we actually do and how we actually use these two additional services. The same goes just here. Yeah, obviously for water and gas, it's the same solution. But basically what we have is an offering where we're taking a device, a wireless module, our Neo Pipe and Neo Access, and we combine everything together. So in this case here, not only do we make sure we have a stable module, we have a stable stack, we can run an application on this. It could be using Android, Linux, or even another open platform. You can have that. But then on top of this, you now have the Neo Access cloud. So this now starts to communicate with everything that goes on from the module up to the cloud. So now, as you have seen from many of the MVNOs and the network operators, we now have a solution here similar, but much wider here, looking on how our modules actually behaves in the network. And we can do network analytics, making sure that we understand whether there are issues, there are things that actually prevent our modules to work properly. Now, taking that to the next step is the whole thing about device management. How do you handle firmware over the air? How do you handle deployments, provisioning, and all this? So we have that in the Neo Pipe. So all together, we have an ecosystem that helps everything from the meter all the way up to the cloud and into the backend. Our range of modules, I'm sure you're all aware of, but I think still, as you can see from this, that we have a very nice coverage going from the 3G support, GNSS and Wi-Fi, all the way up to 5G. Different form factor, different packages, different footprint, and obviously different configurations. And this again helps our customers to become much more safe in working with us, because we can support them in almost every single market that are out there and every single configuration. And in the case where we don't have it, we are very eager to listen to what configuration customers are looking for, and then we can evaluate to see if we can find a way to support it. But as you can see here, a very wide range of modules. Some of them are what we will call more like a beat pipe. Others are very open platform, so that you have the possibility to port applications directly on the module and run decision-making directly on the module. We've highlighted a few of them. One of them here is the N75 module here, which is based on Qualcomm. This one has an open Linux, but just to give some examples here, this module here is a module that we deployed in really large scale here, but it's a module that we right now deploy both in EMEA and India. And in India, we supplied a really high volume of this one here. But again, as you can see here, just a quick snapshot. I'm not going to go through too many details. You can get all that afterwards here. But as you can see from an interface point of view, and even the frequency band here, the configuration gives our customers the possibility to use this in multiple regions and countries when it comes to rollout. Similar thing goes for the N720, which is also Qualcomm based but open Linux, which is a very compact size module. Look again on the extended temperature range, we have -4 to 85. And equally, this is the one we use a lot in China and China mainland and in India. So again, different modules to different regions, but it's still the possibility to run it on the same chipset with Open Linux, so you can actually port the application across if you want to do that. This one here is one of the differentiators we have. We have the LTE Cat 1 module N58, which is based on Unisoc. This module here also supports Bluetooth. This is an interesting module because from a coverage point of view, you have both China, EMEA, Australia, and India for the support with the bands, as you can see here. This is a really powerful module, and again, also a very cost-effective module that we have for our clients, still again in a very small footprint. The N27, which is our LPWA module here, which is a global module that we launched, which is also based on Qualcomm, but is based on the Qualcomm Open ThreadX platform. So again, as you can see, like I said before, you can have Linux, you can have ThreadX, you can have Android. So we have the possibility to help customers so they can choose what is most suitable for them and what they feel best of actually using if they want to use a smart module and run application directly on the module. Here's another opportunity here. This is also a Unisoc one, which is running narrowband IoT and GPRS. Again, just to give you an idea of, this is what we use in EMEA and India right now. Again, with the possibility to run Bluetooth for these also, interestingly. N21, this is Unisoc, but with all network modes on it. It has eSIM as an optional here, and Bluetooth. And then obviously, this module here is a module that we, again, use a lot for water and gas. It's very compact, very low power, and it's a perfect way for these applications to use a module like this. When we look further, we are moving into the 5G space. As you know, we already deployed this, and we can see that the demands are there. In this case here, we show you the N511 module, which is a Unisoc with the support for 5G, with LTE fallback and UMTS fallback even. This module here, again, just to show the complexity of configuration on modules, but also the wideness of our actually offering here. This is a M.2 package here, just as an example here, but a really interesting module for consumer electronics, smart energy, and all those things. And those are the trends we see now coming up for the next generation applications. When it comes to all these modules, obviously you need to have antennas, otherwise they don't work. In this case here, we are providing customers with a range of antennas. Some of them what we call a little bit standard antennas, but some of them also very customized. So whether we stencil out antennas specifically, or whether we design PCB antennas or patch antennas or whatever, there are many ways of we can help our customers with that. Finding the right antenna for the right environment. Sometimes it has to be rocketized, sometimes it has to be hidden, sometimes it has to be in extreme cold weather, warm weather, in extreme sunshine, etc. So there are many things to consider here, and this is what we have now added to our portfolio, the possibility for us to actually help customers find the right solution, design the right solution, and make sure that, again, you don't have to go out and change antennas every 3 months or every 3 years, because the business case will simply drop. So let's go into Neopipe. I see there are some questions here. I think we should take all the questions just after the presentation here. It won't be long here, so just keep putting the questions in, and then let's run through them as soon as we're done with this presentation here. I hope that's okay. So just to go in through Neopipe here. So like I said, the whole idea here is you have the IoT device on the edge, then you have obviously a SIM card there and a module and an antenna. Then that communicates, and then what you need there is it communicates with a IoT core network, and then it creates the connection into the application server. Now, Neopipe is handling the communication between the module and SIM card all the way into the management platform. And again, this is a way to make sure that we stay reachable, we stay online, we stay updated, and we can be provisioned and configured across the air, and make sure that our customers can have long-lasting deployments, and make sure that they can always do changes to reporting, changes to firmware, changes to security, whatever they want to do, they can do that remotely without having to put people on the ground, having to go and fix those things or change meters or change whatever. So the Neo platform architecture is really, really extensive. What we are trying to do on here is show you the presentation layer. So a perception layer down here. So what you have here is obviously you have the SIMs, you have the modules, you have the application. Now you have a network layer, and now you move into the Neopipe. I'm not going to go through everything here, but it gives you a really interesting overview of what kind of things we do, whether it's fault diagnosis or networks monitoring or availability or device management or traffic management. All of the above here, you have the possibility to actually monitor, adjust, add, and even optimize your application using this Neopipe platform. Now, on top of that, you have your application layer where you can have your application running. So again, our Neopipe is working directly into the core stack of the module and into the core network, which means that that's kind of the underlaying foundation, and then you have the application on top that stays the same, but it can also be updated over the air, obviously. So the features here, just to repeat here, we have the whole piece covered here, making sure that our customers can keep their deployments out there safe and sound, but at the same time that they can continue to tweak and optimize the solution depending on changes that occurs, and we know changes occurs all the time in this space here. So this is an interesting rollout we have. This is with China State Grid, where we deployed the Neopipe application here. And before using the Neopipe, the offline rate was about 9.7, and after using, we reduced it to 2.8%. And the online rate, obviously 90 went up to 97. So a significant improvement for customers using these tools here, because again, remember, you might be an expert on the grid side, you might be an expert on the metering side, but you're not necessarily an expert on the whole, I would say, smart module / network / IoT side. So obviously a lot of our customers today are really, really strong, and you can see they have dedicated teams working on these technologies, but still when it comes to the core stack of the module, it is actually down to the module vendor. In this case here, we have access to those things where we can actually extract data here and see how our module behaves in the network and provide that data back to our customers so they can take the decisions based upon this. So we do believe that moving forward, as the deployments gets wider and bigger, you need to have really intelligent middleware to actually overcome that and make sure you don't run into bottlenecks.